Deep beneath the rocky surface of planet Kranos 12, a human miner named Callan Briggs worked like every other day. His hands were covered in dust, his back sore from the tight tunnels, and his thoughts stuck on saving enough credits to go back to Earth. Mining here wasn't glorious, but it paid well, at least until today. That morning, the drilling machine stopped. Not broke, stopped. Everything around Callan froze. From his comm unit came a strange alien voice, full of static but filled with panic. To all human units, retreat immediately. The war has reached Kranos. They're coming. Callan blinked. War. What war? He whispered. He dropped his mining tool and ran toward the surface tunnels, dust falling around him like rain. But as he reached the surface shaft, the sky above wasn't blue anymore. It was burning red, and giant alien warships hovered like angry gods. Callan's comm crackled again. This is Administrator Huo. We've been attacked by the Zardathi Empire. The treaty is broken. They've declared total war. Callan had heard of the Zardathi. Ruthless, genocidal, machines and monsters rolled into one. But they were fighting the United Terran Coalition thousands of light years away. Why now? Why here? Suddenly, a beam of blue light struck the mine's main facility. The explosion threw Callan off his feet, knocking the helmet off his head. He coughed, ears ringing, vision blurry. Around him, alien warriors with silver blue skin and glowing eyes came out of nowhere. But they weren't Zardathi. They were tall, thin, and elegant. More like nobles than soldiers. One of them approached Callan and didn't attack. Instead, she said something strange. He's unmarked and breathing our air with ease. It is him. The prophecy. Callan sat up, confused. What are you talking about? I'm just a miner. But before he could argue, the warrior knelt. You are the chosen heart, the one to lead the dying flame of our people. Callan stared in disbelief. Was this some mistake? But then more of them arrived. Some bleeding, some limping, and all of them bowed. He was surrounded by a war he didn't understand, and aliens who looked at him like a savior. Take him, the woman warrior ordered. The throne must awaken before the planet dies. 2 soldiers gently helped him up and began walking him toward a deep canyon where a hidden structure, ancient and alien, waited beneath glowing vines. Callan didn't know if he was hallucinating or dreaming, but something inside him whispered, "This is no accident." As the Zardathi ships descended from the skies and the last human signals went silent, Callan Briggs, miner from Earth, unknowingly stepped into a dead king's crown, and the future of a civilization hung on his next move. Cliffhanger. Ending for Part 1. Callan is taken before a throne made of living stone. As soon as he touches it, it glows, ancient machines awaken, and a deep alien voice whispers through the chamber, "You are now bound to the fate of our world." He gasps. And then, darkness. The moment Callan's hand touched the throne, everything changed. A pulse of warm blue light rushed through the chamber like a wave. Ancient pillars lit up. Floating glyphs began to swirl in the air. Strange alien scripts glowed along the floor like veins carrying energy. Callan fell to one knee. His heartbeat slowed, then stopped for a single terrifying second. A voice, not from the room but inside his mind, whispered, "Identity accepted. Human-compatible host confirmed. Initiating binding protocol." Callan gasped, eyes wide. What's happening? The tall alien warrior beside him, the same one who bowed earlier, stepped forward. Her name, he now remembered hearing, was Rinva. She looked both amazed and deeply afraid. "It is true," she said quietly. "You have awakened the living throne. It only answers to a soul, one that is both mortal and unshaped by bloodright." Callan stumbled back. "I didn't come here to rule anything. I'm just a miner. I dig rocks for a living." But the throne had already accepted him. A small drone hovered from behind the throne. It scanned Callan's face, then projected a holographic image in front of him, an image of the planet dying, Volcanoes erupting, cities crumbling, ships falling from the skies, and a single word flashed in their alien language translated in English beneath it: extinction. Kalen stared at the image. The aliens, what was left of them, were losing everything. Your arrival was foretold, Rinva said. The ancients left the throne for a heart not made of war. You are that heart. Kalen didn't believe in fate. He believed in tools, rules, and hard work. But this was madness, and yet the throne had awakened only when he touched it. Before he could argue again, the drone hovered in front of him and stabbed a thin needle into his neck. Hey! It's the royal bond, Rinva said calmly. Without it, the throne's power will kill you. Kalen felt burning heat in his veins, then cold. His vision blurred. He saw memories not his own. Wars, councils, sacrifices, betrayals, births of stars, and deaths of empires. He collapsed. When he opened his eyes again, he could read the alien symbols around the chamber. He could feel the heartbeat of the planet, slow and fading, and most frightening of all, he could feel the pain of everyone on it. He grabbed his chest. It's too much, he gasped. Rinva placed a hand on his shoulder. That is the burden of a ruler of Zolaris. Now, it is yours. Kalen looked around. The aliens who had followed her now knelt in silence, waiting, hoping. We will follow you, Rinva said, not because we must, but because there's no one else left. Kalen looked at the throne again. It was alive, somehow breathing with the planet. And now, it was part of him. You said this world is dying, he said. Yes. Then let's make sure it doesn't go quietly. Meanwhile, far above Kranos 12, the Zardathi mothership prepared its final strike. Inside, a general reviewed data. The throne has awakened, the computer reported, but bonded with a human. The general paused, then smiled. Perfect. Kill him, and take the throne for ourselves. The mountain palace trembled under the impact. Kalen rushed to the balcony, heart pounding, and looked up. Dozens, no, hundreds, of Zardathi war drones zipped through the sky, glowing red like angry insects. The once peaceful cliffs surrounding the throne chamber were now lit with fire and chaos. Behind him, Rinva's voice was calm but urgent. They're trying to destroy the throne. If they do that, our entire planet dies with it. Kalen turned sharply. Why does everything depend on a single chair? Because it's not just a chair, she replied. It's the planet's core consciousness. The throne balances our weather, our tides, our energy flow. Without it, Zolaris becomes a dead rock. Kalen's head spun. He was a miner, not a king, not a commander. But now, every life here looked to him. He clenched his fists. Then we hold the line. Rinva nodded. We have a few defense pylons and warrior spirits left, and you control the throne now. You can activate the planetary defense systems. Kalen didn't know how, but as if answering his thoughts, the glyphs around the throne chamber began to glow again. A small platform rose from the floor, a control panel with alien symbols that translated themselves before his eyes. Defense grid offline. Power routing standby. Command signature accepted. Welcome, King Kalen. That last line made him flinch. King, not now. He slammed his palm onto the activation sigil. The room vibrated. Far below the mountain, ancient pylons rose from the canyons, tall towers with crystal heads, and began firing beams of blue light into the sky. The first wave of Zardathi drones shattered midair. Outside, the few remaining Zolarian warriors cheered. But Rinva didn't smile. They're testing us, the real attack hasn't started. And she was right. In the distance, a dark shape blocked out the clouds. It wasn't a drone. It was a Zardathi command walker, a 10-legged mechanical giant that could crush a building under its feet. If that thing reaches the palace, Rinva whispered, we're finished. Kalen looked at the defense controls. One button blinked red. What's this? He asked. The heart cannon. It's only been fired once, during the War of Collapse. It drains life from the throne itself. Kalen's jaw tightened. So if I use it, I weaken the throne? Yes. But if you don't use it, we die. He stared at the screen. Choices. Always choices. Then he pressed the button. The mountain shook. From deep within, a massive beam of bright blue energy blasted straight toward the command walker. It hit. The explosion was like a sun being born. Dust, metal, and fire flew into the air. Silence. Then, a cheer. Callan stepped back, breathing hard. I can't believe that worked. But just as the words left his mouth, the console flashed a warning. Warning, throne vitality decreased 18%. Warning, incoming signature detected. Zardathi War Queen approaching. Rinva's eyes darkened. The War Queen is... here herself? Who is she? Callan asked. The one who ended our royal line. The one who burned 5 of our cities in one day. If she's come, she means to end us completely. Callan looked out toward the horizon. Far off in the sky, a massive black ship floated like a demon's crown, lightning swirling around it. Then let her come, he said quietly. We'll be ready. The sky above Kranos 12 turned black. Thunder cracked across the heavens even though there were no clouds. The air grew heavy, pressing down on everyone near the mountain palace. Birds fell silent. Machines buzzed with static. Even the alien throne pulsed with a low, nervous hum. Callan Briggs stood near the ancient console, his hand still trembling from firing the heart cannon. The attack had worked, for now. But something darker was coming. From the far side of the valley, a massive shadow broke through the clouds, the enemy's flagship. Rinva stared at it, her body tense. That ship? I've seen it only once before, she said. In orbit over our capital, before it fell. A chill moved down Callan's back. She's not just a commander, is she? He asked. No, Rinva whispered. She is the War Queen of the Zardathi, the one who leads the harvest, the one who kills civilizations like its tradition. Down in the fields below, the surviving Zalarian warriors gathered, forming a protective circle around the throne palace. There were only a few hundred of them now. Once they'd been millions. From the ship's underbelly, dark shapes began to fall, like rain. At first, Callan thought they were bombs. But they landed with perfect balance. Soldiers. Hundreds. Maybe thousands. Clad in dark silver armor, with glowing red visors. Each carried strange bladed rifles and each moved in perfect robotic unison. And then, she arrived. The War Queen descended in a personal drop pod, its metal glowing with ancient runes. When it hit the ground, the earth cracked beneath it. The hatch opened, and silence fell. The War Queen was over 7 feet tall, her skin metallic black, her hair made of living wires that moved like serpents. Her face was partly machine, partly woman, but her eyes were pure hatred. She didn't speak. She didn't need to. The Zardathi fell to one knee. Callan watched from the tower. If she reaches the throne, we're finished, he said. Rinva nodded grimly. You must not let her near it. If she bonds with it after killing you, she becomes the queen of our world. Callan swallowed hard. And if I stop her, then you remain king. That still felt wrong. He had never ruled anything in his life, not even a crew. But now, a dying race counted on him to face a monster. The battlefield. The Zardathi forces marched forward. The Zalarians charged to meet them, but they were outnumbered 5-1. Callan ran to the armory vault, now accessible only through his new royal bond. He activated it with a breath, doors sliding open to reveal Zalarian battle armor unlike anything humans had seen. It will respond to your thoughts, Rinva said as she helped him into it. It will protect you, but only your will can command it. The moment the armor snapped onto him, Kalen felt a surge of alien energy enter his body. He wasn't superhuman, but he was more than just a man now. He grabbed a pulse blade and stepped outside. The battlefield burned. Screams echoed, fires raged. Crystal weapons fired from the towers, taking down squads of enemies, but it wasn't enough. In the middle of it all, the War Queen walked calmly, letting her army carve the path, until she saw him. Kalen, standing at the top of the steps to the throne chamber. Her red eyes locked onto him, and for the first time she spoke. "You are the one they chose, a human. This is an insult." Kalen took a deep breath. He was scared, but didn't let it show. "I didn't choose this, but I'm not giving it up either." The War Queen raised her sword. It was taller than he was and pulsed with dark fire. "Then come, King of Dust, let us see if your heart is worthy of a crown." The War Queen's blade was just inches from Kalen's chest when the ground shook violently. A sudden burst of light exploded from the throne chamber, blinding, golden blue, and alive with power. The War Queen stopped mid-strike. She turned, slowly toward the source. From deep within the chamber a voice echoed, not loud, but so full of command that even machines paused to listen. "He is not alone. The throne of Zelaris chooses to fight." The alien palace came to life. Pillars moved. Walls shifted. Ancient statues opened their eyes. The air thrummed with energy, centuries-old systems waking up for one reason only, to protect the chosen king. Kalen coughed, blood on his lips, but his vision was clearing. The throne's power pulsed inside him like a second heartbeat. "What was that?" he asked, still lying on the stone steps. Rinva reached him just in time, helping him stand. The throne answered, "You've bonded deeper than we thought." Behind them, a colossal machine emerged from the earth, a guardian golem fused with the energy of the throne. It was 10 meters tall, armored in crystal and alloy, and moved like a living mountain. It looked at Kalen and bowed. "You command it now," Rinva whispered. The War Queen hissed, her metal fingers tightening around her weapon. "So be it. I will break your machine and your spirit." Kalen stepped forward, wincing in pain, and raised his hand. The guardian golem charged. The battlefield shifted instantly. The Zardathi paused as their War Queen was forced to dodge blow after blow from the giant. Each strike sent shockwaves through the valley. Alien troops fell over. The ground cracked. Kalen, still weak, focused on the link inside his mind. He could feel the golem's arms, its steps, even the pain when it was hit. He and the throne's defender were now one force, but the War Queen was no ordinary fighter. She moved faster than the giant. She leaped from stone to stone, slicing the golem's arms and legs with her dark blade. Sparks and molten chips flew. "You can't win," she shouted. "I've killed kings greater than you." Kalen didn't answer. Instead, he channeled everything he had left into one final command. The golem grabbed the War Queen midair and slammed her into the side of the mountain. The echo rang for miles. Silence. Then, a crack. The golem's arm shattered. The War Queen dropped down, limping, her armor broken, but her blade still pulsed. "You dare fight me with toys? You are nothing but a digger of dirt." Kalen felt dizzy, but his rage pushed him forward. "Maybe, but I'm a digger who doesn't run, and I'm not leaving until this world stands again." The throne pulsed again, this time not just in him, but in the sky. From the clouds, old defense satellites blinked to life, hidden weapons, dormant for ages, locked onto the Zardathi forces. Rinva gasped. He's not just bonded to the throne, he's connected to the planetary network. Kalen fell to one knee, the power overwhelming. Then, in a hoarse voice, he gave the command, "Fire." The sky lit up. Satellites rained fire on the enemy army. One by one, Zardathi dropships exploded. The ground burned bright. The War Queen raised a shield of energy, but even she stumbled under the force. Her troops fell back, confused and afraid. The humans had turned the planet itself into a weapon. In orbit, the Zardathi commander on the ship watched the battle turn. "Retreat?" one drone asked. "No," the commander said. "Send reinforcements and tell the Queen she must not fall." Back on the surface, Callan stood again. His armor was cracked, his body bruised, but his eyes were steady. The war. Queen dropped her blade. "You should not have been chosen." "Too late," Callan said. "I already was." After the battle, a strange quiet filled the throne mountain. Fires still burned in the distance, and the sky was stained with smoke. But for now, the Zardathi had retreated. Callan Briggs sat at the edge of the mountain balcony, still wearing the broken alien armor. His body ached. His thoughts were tangled. "I'm not a king," he said softly. Rinva stood behind him. Her tone was gentle. "You may not believe it, but the throne does, and so do we." Callan sighed. Why did the throne choose a human? Anyway, why me? There must have been someone better. Rinva's face darkened. Because it had no other choice. That night the throne began to pulse again. Not in warning, this time in invitation. A secret door opened in the deepest chamber. One even Rinva didn't know existed. Callan stepped inside, torch in hand, and followed a path carved into the roots of the planet itself. The walls glowed with soft light, like veins. Symbols floated in the air, languages long forgotten. But Callan could now read them. "Heart of Zolaris, last refuge, memory vault," he whispered. At the end of the tunnel, a room waited. Inside were thousands of glowing orbs, each one a memory, a piece of history, a truth long buried. He reached out to one marked with a symbol that flickered strangely. When he touched it, the orb floated up and exploded into vision and sound. A vision appeared. An ancient Zalarian king stood in front of a star map. Behind him, Earth glowed faintly in a distant corner. "This world," the king said, "is young. Its people are raw, violent, but full of potential. One day when all else fails, one of them will save us." Callan's mouth went dry. The voice continued. "We seeded the throne's code with human compatibility. Our last gamble. If you're seeing this, then our kind has fallen. And you, human, are now the final keeper of Zolaris." The image faded. Callan leaned back, stunned. "They built the throne for humans? Long ago?" "No," came Rinva's voice from behind him. "They built it for a human they hadn't met yet." Callan turned. "Why didn't anyone tell me?" "Because no one believed the prophecy was real," she said quietly. "Many thought it was myth. Until you came. In another corner of the vault." Callan found something else, a sealed chamber locked until now. When he opened it, he didn't find weapons or warriors. He found children. Dozens of cryopods lined the chamber, young Zalarians in suspended sleep. Their faces peaceful, untouched by war. The last of the next generation. A message hovered in front. "If the throne awakens, wake them. Only a ruler with the heart link can restore their life force." Callan swallowed hard. I can bring them back?" Rinva nodded, but her voice was grave. "Yes, but every life awakened will take from the throne's strength. You must choose when." Callan stood in silence. He was no longer just a fighter. Now, he was a guardian, a builder, a father to a future that hadn't even begun. Elsewhere, in the floating city of Vorskar, a hidden Zardathi base buzzed with life. The War Queen stood in the shadows of a dark temple, speaking to something massive, a Zardathi hive mind core. "The human is bonded, stronger than expected." The core responded in a deep, crackling voice. "Then we must break his will, find the original royal blood, the princess of the old line. She may be the key to severing the bond." The War Queen grinned. "Already found. We just have to make her scream." The map room glowed with an ancient golden light. Callan stared at the pulsing dot on the star chart, located far to the south, in a place marked Veital, the ancient city of light, a place thought to be dead for over 100 years. Rinva's hands trembled slightly. We searched that city long ago. Nothing survived. Or so we believed. Callan clenched his fists. The War Queen is hiding something there. Or someone, Rinva said quietly. And she was right. Far beneath the ruins of Veital, in a hidden underground facility powered by Zardathi tech, the last living Zalarian princess floated inside a stasis field. She was young, barely into her first cycle of adulthood, but unmistakably royal. Her glowing markings shimmered even while unconscious, and a small crystal circlet pulsed on her forehead. She was the heir to the original bloodline, the only one left. The War Queen walked slowly around her suspended body, fingers dragging across the stasis controls. "You are the key," she whispered, "to unlocking the throne's core, to destroying the human king's bond." Her soldiers stood by, silent, awaiting orders. Awaken her, let her scream. Back in the throne palace, Callan made his choice. "I'm going to Veital, alone if I have to." Rinva stepped forward quickly. "You can't. If they're holding someone royal, they'll kill her the second they see you. Then I'll make sure they don't." Rinva stared at him, searching his face. He wasn't just a miner anymore. He was becoming the king they needed. That night, Callan left with a small, fast ship, stealth-coated, carrying only a single pulse rifle, light armor, and a heart full of fire. The flight was short, but tense. As he passed over dead forests and scorched lands, he saw shadows of what this world used to be. Cities buried in ash, statues broken in half, rivers turned to dust. No wonder they needed hope, he muttered. As he approached Veital, he turned, off all systems, flying in darkness to avoid detection. The ancient city below looked like a graveyard, but hidden under one shattered temple was life. He landed silently, sneaking inside through old tunnels once used by priests. Strange energy buzzed through the walls, Zardathi technology patched into the ancient stone. He reached a corner and saw it, the War Queen's ship, and two armored guards in front of a sealed door. Callan crouched, heart racing. He tapped his wrist console. "Okay, Throne, if you can hear me, now would be a great time to help." A faint glow ran up his fingers. The Throne responded. With a flick of thought, he disabled the power grid for 5 seconds. Just long enough, he sprinted forward. Crack! One guard fell instantly to a pulse strike. The second turned, but Callan was faster, slamming him into the wall with the rifle's butt. The door opened slowly. Inside, she floated. The princess. She was beautiful in a strange alien way. Tall, delicate, glowing with soft blue lines and surrounded by humming light. Her eyes fluttered open as Callan stepped closer. "You are not Zalarian," she whispered weakly. "No," Callan said. "I'm just the guy trying to save you." She stared for a long moment. "Then you are the one the throne chose." Before he could speak again, alarm screamed. The War Queen's voice boomed through the halls. "You dare enter my chambers, human? I offered you mercy once. That mercy is gone." Footsteps echoed. The War Queen herself entered, blade glowing. "Give me the princess, and then I will grant you a painless death." Callan raised his rifle. Not happening. The War Queen lunged, their blades clashed, sparks flew. Callan barely kept up. His body pushed past exhaustion. Each strike sent shock through his armor, but this time, he didn't back down. The princess, weak but watching, raised her hand slowly toward the throne crystal on Callan's chest. "Let me help." A thread of glowing light shot from her forehead to his chest. Callan felt warmth, clarity, and power flow through him. His strikes became faster. His armor hardened. The War Queen growled, "She's merging with your bond, stop her!" But it was too late. With one final strike, Callan's blade sliced the War Queen's mask, revealing half her real face underneath, a mix of machine and something that looked very human. Callan hesitated. Wait. What are you? She vanished, into smoke. Callan flew back toward the throne mountain, carrying the unconscious Zalarian princess in his arms. Her breathing was faint, but steady. The glow from her crown had faded, yet the connection between them still hummed, a strange warmth in his chest. Behind them, the ruined city of Veital burned in silence. He didn't speak, because inside his mind, a new word had rooted itself. Opposite, the War Queen wasn't just his enemy. She was somehow linked to the throne like a twin to his bond, maybe even born of it. And if that was true, then the throne had a shadow. Back at the palace, the princess was placed into healing stasis under Rinva's watch. When she awoke, she spoke softly, but clearly. My name is Aurelia Vexra, last daughter of the royal line. And I have seen what the throne fears. Callan leaned closer. Tell me. Long ago, she said, before our empire fell, the throne was built to channel the will of the people into one leader. But to balance that power, it needed something else. A second throne? No, she whispered. A mirror, a dark anchor. The shadow throne hidden beneath the surface built to absorb everything we couldn't allow. Hatred, violence, greed, betrayal. Callan's throat tightened. And the War Queen. She found it, and let it shape her. Far away, aboard, a massive ship hidden behind Kranos' dying moon, the War Queen stood in front of an altar made of dark crystal. Around her were shadows, whispers, souls twisted by the throne's evil half. She placed her hand on the stone, and it bled light. He awakened the throne of life, she said. Then I shall raise the throne of death. The black stone cracked, open. From it rose a dark figure shaped like Callan but made of fire and metal, its eyes glowing red with endless hunger. A king must always face himself, the War Queen whispered. Let us see if he can kill his own reflection. Back on the mountain, Callan stood at the edge of the balcony again. This planet, this throne. It never wanted a king, he said. It wanted balance. 2 rulers. Light and dark. Rinva stood beside him. So destroy the other half. Destroy the shadow throne. Aurelia shook her head from the healing chamber. No, you can't. They are connected. If one dies, the other might collapse, including you. Callan blinked. So I can't kill him? No, Aurelia said. You must unmake him. You must take back what the throne gave him, and seal the mirror forever. Callan looked toward the horizon. Then tell me where he is. That night the stars changed. A black storm began to form around Kranos' moon. Red lightning struck space itself. A ring of darkness appeared in orbit, shaped like a crown, and then a voice echoed into every mind on the planet. Even the young ones asleep in cryopods. You have had your turn, human king. Now comes mine. Callan dropped to one knee, clutching his chest. The bond to the throne pulsed violently. His heartbeat stuttered. His veins burned. He saw flashes of the Shadow King. He saw himself, twisted, cruel, laughing as cities burned. Then it faded. Rinva helped him stand. What did you see? What I could become, if I lose. The throne called to him. He entered the chamber alone. The walls had changed. Now they flickered between blue and black, pulsing as if something else was reaching through them. The throne whispered, "The shadow is awake, you must face it." How? Callan asked. A panel slid open. Inside was a crown, but not for the head. It wrapped around the heart. Wear this. It will let you pass into the Echo Realm, where the throne and shadow meet. Callan nodded slowly. Then I go now. As he placed the crown on his chest, everything went black. He fell, through space, through thought, through memory, and landed in a place that looked exactly like the palace, except it was twisted. Sky was red, trees were bones, the throne was cracked, and sitting upon it, was himself. The Shadow King stood up. Same face, same armor, but eyes full of fire. "Welcome, brother," he said with a wicked grin. "Only one of us leaves this place." Callan opened his eyes. He stood in a strange world, half light, half darkness. The sky above was split in two. On the left, soft blue clouds floated over glowing trees and golden mountains. On the right, red lightning cracked across the sky and sharp black rocks pierced the ground like broken swords. He looked down and saw the throne of Zelaris behind him, glowing, pulsing with warmth. Across from it stood another throne, the Shadow throne, cold, twisted and black as death, and sitting on it was himself, but not quite. This version of Callan had red eyes. His armor was sharper, spikier. His sword burned with dark fire, and his face wore a cold smile. "So," the Shadow King said, "we finally meet." Callan took a step forward, gripping his weapon. "I've been fighting you since the moment I touched the throne." The Shadow King stood. "You're the weak part of us, the part that forgives, that hopes, that cries. I'm the part that survives." "You're the part I buried," Callan replied. "Buried?" The Shadow King laughed. "No, you fed me every time you got angry, every time you felt useless, every time you wanted to give up." He pointed his blade at Callan. "Only one of us leaves this place." And then they charged. The two kings clashed in the middle of the Echo Realm. Light met shadow. Sparks flew with every strike. Their swords moved at the same speed. Their minds reacted together. It was like fighting in a mirror, but the reflection wanted him dead. Callan dodged, ducked, and parried, but the Shadow King was stronger. He fought without fear, without care, without holding back. "You're afraid to become me," the Shadow King growled. "But without me, you are nothing." Callan was knocked to the ground, his armor cracking. "They don't need you," the Shadow King spat. "You were just a miner. No family, no purpose. You didn't matter." "But I chose to matter," Callan said, rising slowly. "That's the difference." He closed his eyes and remembered. The children in the cryopods, Rinva's hand on his shoulder, Aurelia's glowing eyes, full of hope, the voices of Zelarians chanting his name. And he knew. He wasn't alone. The throne behind him glowed brighter as if responding to his heart. Aurelia's voice echoed through the realm. "You don't have to destroy him, Callan. You have to accept what he is, and take back control." Callan lowered his sword. "I won't kill you," he told the Shadow King. The dark version snarled. "Then you'll die." He lunged, but Callan didn't raise his sword. Instead, he opened his arms, and in that moment, light from the living throne wrapped around them both. The Shadow King stopped, confused, then screamed as the light pulled him apart, breaking the anger, burning the hate, and absorbing the shadow into Callan's chest. The two thrones pulsed, once, then became one. Callan gasped and dropped to his knees, clutching his chest. "It's done," he whispered. "The shadow is part of me now, but it no longer controls me." Back in the real world, Callan opened his eyes. He was lying before the throne, surrounded by Rinva, Aurelia, and the other survivors. They helped him up. "You did it," Rinva said softly. "You faced yourself, and won." Callan nodded, still shaking. "No, I accepted myself. That's what the throne needed." The living throne glowed again, this time brighter than ever before. Its cracks began to heal. The air grew warmer. Aurelia smiled. "The king is whole, but far above the planet." A final message came through the stars, a new voice, calm, powerful, ancient. "We have seen the human king. He holds the throne. He faced the mirror. He passed the trial." Callan frowned. "Who is that?" Rinva looked up, eyes wide. "That's not the Zardathi. That's not from our world at all." Aurelia whispered. "That's a signal from the Council of Ancients." The sky opened. Above, the now peaceful world of Kranos 12, a massive ring-shaped ship hovered. It spun slowly in the stars, glowing with ancient energy. Around its edges, symbols from dozens of alien civilizations pulsed, some long forgotten, some only known in myths. Inside the throne palace, Callan stood silently. He wasn't wearing his battle armor. He wore only a simple black robe marked with the crest of the throne. He was no longer just a miner. He was King of Zelaris, and the galaxy had come to see if he was ready for something even greater. Rinva entered the chamber with a message scroll. The ship above, it belongs to the Council of Ancients. They were the ones who built the first thrones across the stars. They test rulers to see who is worthy of leading more than just a planet. Callan raised an eyebrow. They want to test me now? No, Aurelia said softly, walking in behind her. They already did. She placed her hand gently over Callan's chest, over the crown-shaped mark left by the throne bond. You passed when you faced your own shadow and chose mercy over power. Callan looked to the skies. Then what do they want? As if answering, a beam of soft light shone down from the ship, landing in the center of the throne chamber. From it stepped a being of pure light and shadow, tall and calm, cloaked in white and silver. Its voice was not male or female, just wise. You have done what few have done, Callan Briggs of Earth. You ruled not by command but by care. You did not conquer, you healed. The galaxy needs that. Callan didn't know what to say. I'm not perfect, he said quietly. No ruler is, the being replied. But you carry your throne with humility, and that is rare. The alien being raised one hand, and a small star map appeared in the air, showing dozens of broken worlds, scattered civilizations, orphaned colonies. We offer you a choice, King of Zelaris, the being said. Remain here and rebuild your new home. Or join the council and become a protector of many worlds. The room fell silent. Aurelia looked at him, her voice soft. Whatever you choose, we'll follow. Callan walked slowly to the edge of the balcony, looking down at the people. Below, Zelarian survivors, children playing, rebuilt homes, fresh crops growing, hope rising again. Then he looked up at the stars. I started as a miner, he said. Then I became a king. Now I understand it was never about the crown. It was about what I could give. He turned back to the ancient being. I will rebuild Zelaris, but I won't stop there. I'll answer when others call. Send me where I'm needed. The being bowed deeply. Then rise, Callan Briggs, not just King of Zelaris, but Warden of Worlds. The throne pulsed once more, brighter than ever before, and above the planet the galaxy watched.